Aubrey, we have such a cool episode today. Um, we're going to tell you guys the question that the most students are messing up in IELTS speaking part one. Now, Aubrey, how do we know this?
I know. You guys know Jessica was an IELTS examiner for 14 years. And lucky for us, she has lots of friends who are currently examiners. And she asks them to make sure we are up on any changes, trends, what are the most common mistakes, so that we can share all of that insider info with you.
Exactly. So I have mentioned this previously, right? I just had a long talk with an examiner friend of mine. And my goal was to get 10 episode topics for you guys. I wanted to pick her brain so you guys could get all of the insider info. And this was a direct question I asked her. Like, what are students messing up today? What is like one thing that students always mess up on the speaking exam? And today we're going to give you that answer.
Yes, so hit follow because there will be more episodes coming up. So if you're
Yes.
not following, you might miss some of them. We're going to share all of this great info that we got from a current examiner.
Nice. Yeah, definitely, guys. Hit follow right now so you don't miss an IELTS Energy episode. Okay, so let's get to it. We're going to tell you the group of questions, the topic and speaking part one that people just are messing up all over the show. And then, guys, stay until the end because we're going to tell you how to answer these questions correctly in the way the examiner wants.
Yes, awesome. Okay, let's dive into it. So, this is really tricky because there are some speaking questions that have been slightly updated,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah, which
sometimes,
is great because
yes,
some of the IELTS
thank
questions seem
goodness.
so old. And of course, you guys don't know how to answer that. Like, for example, how often do you use the internet? Okay, luckily, IELTS does not ask that anymore because all the time is the answer. Like, it's just not applicable today. How often do you handwrite letters? Again, no, we don't do that today.
Right. Exactly. So instead, you might be asked, what's your favorite app instead of website? And,
Exactly.
what do you use the internet for? Right. So these are
Yeah.
updated. You're still going to likely get asked about the internet. It's all
Right.
over the IELTS speaking exam, but it'll be a little different than the ones you're seeing in old Cambridge practice books.
Exactly, exactly. So here is a question that my examiner friend just really trips people up. That question is, do you enjoy chatting with friends? So there's a group of questions on IELTS speaking part one right now. You might see these on your next exam about chatting. So what is the confusing thing here?
Yeah. So when Jessica and I were younger, and a lot of you out there, when we said chat, we meant like maybe chatting with someone online. We maybe didn't know them. We're talking about typing, chatting with someone. And even now, depending on who you talk to, they might think of that differently. It might be like DMing, right? Or who am I talking to, which means who are you dating? So you might misunderstand what's meant by chat.
Exactly. So when IELTS says chatting and they don't define it by saying online or whatever, if they just say chatting, then they're going to mean like using your mouth. It could be on the phone, it could be face to face, but you're using your mouth to talk, right?
Right. Talking.
Out loud. Yes. So
Hmm.
that is what they mean by chatting. So the reason why this is an issue is because some examiners will only accept that version of it, right? So if you answer and you're talking about chatting on, Instagram or whatever with a friend, you're not answering the question correctly to that examiner's mind. Now, some examiners, if I were still on the exam, I would accept a variety of ways to answer that. But a lot of examiners are old fashioned and they have a strict interpretation of what these questions are saying.
Yes, this is why it can really trip you up because
Yeah,
a lot of people you talk to, you think, oh, they're going to know what I mean. It's fine. But
right.
like you said, Jessica, some examiners might be like, no, that's not what this question means. I'm talking about chatting with a friend, having that in person or on the phone conversation with your voice. And if you don't say anything about that, it's going to be a very low score because you haven't answered the question.
Exactly, exactly. So, we are going to get to our sample answers here for these questions in just a minute, but I want to tell you guys that we hope you are having interesting conversations face to face with people. We hope you are having interesting chats out loud with people and practicing your English. You can hear so many interesting conversations and become more interesting yourself in our new B2 course, guys. So check that out, allearsenglish.com/B2. That's the letter B and the number 2. Check that out for listening, vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. All of it helps on IELTS. So do check that out.
Yes, unscripted conversations, right? Native, natural conversations with very interesting people. So much better than the average online English course or what you would get in a textbook.
Exactly. All right, Aubrey. So let's get to our modeling of the correct and incorrect ways to answer these questions, regardless of the examiner. Because again, guys, remember the examiner might be thinking, nope, when I say chatting, I mean talking out loud. Okay. So, how do we make sure that we are answering these correctly? So,
Yes. Can I
I'm,
do the incorrect answer on the first one?
yes.
I
Okay.
love giving wrong sample answers.
The
It's
wrong
my favorite.
ones are so fun. Okay. So,
Yes.
Aubrey's going to do this wrong. Okay. I'm the examiner here. Um, Do you often chat with friends?
No, I don't really like social media, and I also don't type very fast. So I rarely chat with anyone.
I mean, like, it's okay. Like, an open-minded examiner might be like, "Oh, they kinda
Mm,
answered it," but
mm.
even an open-minded examiner would be like, "It's still that's not exactly answering the question, right?"
Right, because I'm so clearly talking about typed answers to
Right.
say, like, I rarely chat with anyone. I'm saying I type slow. I don't use social media, so I don't chat. And a lot of examiners would be like, "Oh no, that's not answering the question. Like you chat in,
Yes.
with your voice in person with
Exactly.
people."
There's other
Yeah.
ways of chatting, like, that's not the only definition of chat. So, here, guys, what we wanna do is mention both kinds of chatting, right? That's the essence. So, how do we
Yes.
do that? Aubrey, do you wanna ask me?
Yes. Give us
Okay.
the right sample answer here, Jessica.
Okay, cool.
Do you do you often chat with friends?
I do. Yeah. I mean, there are so many ways to chat these days, right? So, my best friends that don't live here, I chat with them a lot on Instagram, to be honest. We send each other funny videos and we make comments on them to each other. They're always like very personal and funny. But I mean, face to face, yeah, heck yeah, all the time. I see some of my best friends that are the parents of James' friends. I see these people all the time. So I think I'm always chatting.
Nice. Exactly. That covers all your bases. This is a great idiom. Means you're covering it all. There's no way the examiner is going to be able to be like, their definition of chatting is different from mine. You got it all there.
Exactly. So, guys, if you want more tips on how to improve your IELTS speaking scores, check out a recent episode, IELTS Energy 1365. Hold your own on IELTS speaking with these idioms. That is a fantastic vocabulary episode. So, definitely scroll up if you missed that one and hit follow right now so you do not miss another episode.
Yes, idioms like cover your bases. You need to be using these on IELTS speaking to get that idiomatic language, boost your vocab scores. Go check that one out. And thanks, Jessica. This was a really fun episode.
It
Thank you
was
for
super
getting
fun.
all of this wisdom from your examiner friend for us.
Oh, there's so much more to come, guys. I
Nice.
have so many ideas for you. All right, we'll see you next time, Aubrey.
Awesome. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.